Next, we're going to start talking about the brass instruments. These instruments are made of metal. All of these instruments were made of brass. They may not all be brass now. They may have different metals that make them up now, because I think brass can be kind of expensive, but I'm not 100% sure. But all of these instruments, you have to blow into them. But when you blow into them, you have to set your own air in motion. With the flute and piccolo, blowing air across the hole, it would bounce immediately off the side and into the instrument, setting it in motion. And with the reeds would vibrate and set the air into motion. But for the instruments that are brass, your mouth has to do that vibrating first. So when you blow into a horn, a brass instrument, you don't just go whoo, like you would with a clarinet or a oboe or a flute. You have to inside of it. Buzz your lips into the instrument. And for the first 6 weeks of, maybe not 6, but for the first week or two, probably more realistic, the first week or two of band, if you take band in middle school, you're literally going to walk around with your mouthpiece buzzing, and you sound like a duck, but you've got to get it down before you can do anything else. If you might be interested and you want to practice, you literally just make a circle around your mouth and then go, but it's going to be different because you have your hand by your mouth. The trumpet is the highest, so it's got the smallest mouthpiece, and your lips are going to have to be the tightest pulled when you blow into it. And then the French horn's a little bit lower than that. It's also got a very small mouthpiece. The trombone is bigger, and the tuba is so big that your whole lips fit inside of it, and you just kind of and it sounds very like goose-like. And of course, after you do this, you can go wash your hands or sanitize because you are spitting everywhere. So only do it at home and when nobody else is around you if you're going to practice. So you can kind of figure out highest to lowest based on looking at the instruments. The trumpet has 2 little swirls, and that's it. The sound waves aren't traveling forever and ever. They're kind of in and out. The trombone, a little bit more. The tuba, way more. And the French horn is kind of in between. It's past the trumpet, not quite as low as the trombone. The euphonium is like a higher version of the tuba, so it's smaller and there's a less curly cues up in there. To play all of these instruments, there are what we call valves. Well, not all of them, not the trombone. Trumpet, French horn, tuba, and euphonium, there are valves. But there's only a few of them. The trumpet, tuba, and euphonium have 3, and the French horn has 4. There are way more than 3, 4 notes, 5 notes. So not only are the notes of these instruments different combinations of fingers up and down, but it's also a matter of making your lips tighter or looser, because tighter is going to be higher and looser is going to be lower. So you have to change the shape of your mouth and your lips while you're blowing that air and vibrating that air along with the different valves. For the trombone, you do have to adjust your mouth. Your mouth shape is called an embouchure. You have to change your embouchure to get the correct pitch. But the trombone also has a slide that you have to slide down. It's got 7 positions. The farthest one away is the lowest, and then the closest one up would be the highest. And it has different places that you stop, and it doesn't really have any marks or anything. You kind of just have to figure it out and know, but eventually you kind of get there and you know. So on the next page, you're going to see the same orchestra from Wales, but they're going to introduce the brass instruments to you.